and you're actually in the store today as well, so you've got your hands on all the gorgeous diamonds that we're going to hopefully be viewing.
Yes.
But just to our listeners out there, if you can't see things in detail, don't worry, because we are going to be putting them on the blog post, so you'll be able to see all the intricacy of the diamonds that we look at. Okay, so Emily, tell us a little bit about Larkenberry, you know, its heritage, where it's come from, how long it's been going for.
So we started the company, well, the founder started the company just around 3 years ago, and 2 years ago we launched the website, and just less than 2 years ago we opened the store, sort of a year ago, September.
And just tell everyone where the store is. It's in Marylebone?
Yes, so we're based in Marylebone, just on George Street, so just where it connects to Baker Street. So it's a short walk from Bond Street Station, actually. It's really, really close.
Perfect.
And
you were telling me where the name Larkenberry actually came from, and it's such a lovely story.
Yeah, so Laura, our founder, she really loves jewellery, always has done, but really wanted to do something more ethical. Didn't like the idea of mining, so that's how the brand was born, because we only use sustainable stones. It's all lab grown, or cultured, as we like to say. But the name actually comes from when she was learning English. She really liked the bird, the lark, and she learned that lark meant playful, and people sort of gave her a little bit of a nickname of it, and she did feel like everything she wanted to do in life, she wanted to make sure it was playful, make sure, you know, so she really knew that lark, she wanted that to be part of the name. And then berry comes from, like, one of her key people in her life is her grandmother, who's always been a real inspiration to her, and she was the influence on the jewelry as well, so she passed down some jewelry to Laura, and when she was small, because it was these big, really bright stones, they looked like berries, they resembled berries, and that's kind of where the name came from.
So it's quite sweet. It's such a lovely story for a name. I really, really, normally it's like someone's surname, isn't it, or so on and so forth, but no, lovely. Now, tell us a little bit about the Larkenberry kind of theme that a lot of the jewelry has, or what kind of customer comes to you for a Larkenberry piece?
We have such a broad range, to be honest. There's not one type. I mean, as I mentioned, all of our jewelry only has cultured stones in it, so it's a lot better for the environment, and so we get a lot of people that are coming here for that reason. They really want to be able to shop something sustainable, something where they know exactly where the stone has come from, and so we get a lot of people coming in for that. We also get a lot of bespoke engagement ring customers coming in, because we offer like a whole 360 service with the engagement rings, which is really, really nice. And also the colours of the stones and just the quality of our jewellery. I mean, I don't know if you'll be able to see some of what I'm wearing, but being the fact that we grow... Just
hold that up again to the... hold that up. Sorry. I mean, that is beautiful. What stones are in there?
So we've got some rubies, we've got some sapphires, and we've got some emeralds and diamonds as well. But the nice thing about using lab grown as well, to be honest, is you can get really, really interesting colours of sapphire. So I've actually got some bigger pieces of jewellery to try and show you some of the sort of, you know, it's not your typical just your blues or your yellows. We've got purples. Oops, I'm throwing jewellery around. You've got purple, you've got orange, you've got some really nice orange ones here. And like the pink of this stone, because also a lot of the stones we cut to our own spec, which is really, really nice. So that's a really beautiful
that's gorgeous colour, isn't it? Look at that.
It's really, really nice. It's just, it is nice to have that sort of level and just have something a little bit different, but it's still really precious. Normally, you know, with bright, colourful stones, you kind of think of it as costume jewellery. So, or it's always plated, or, you know, it's a crystal. So it's really nice having the real aspect to it, I guess.
No, definitely. Now, tell us a little bit about the bespoke process. So you do bespoke engagement and wedding rings as well?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, anything we've done in earrings as well, and sort of all sorts of things. But yeah, we offer a 360 service. So generally what will happen is they'll have a consultation with myself, and we'll go through what the brief is and what they want exactly.
Do a lot of grooms come to you knowing exactly what they want, or are they like, oh my goodness, she saw this in a shop, or she loves this?
Every customer's so different. Like we have some customers that come in and they're like, I really like this, but it's just not quite right, and they just want to do some tweaks, and so we can do that for them. And then we have other customers that are like, right, I've got this this idea, but they don't really know what they want, and they come in with amazing mood boards of exactly like all these different elements of different things that they've seen that they like, and then we put them together. And to be honest, that's quite a nice way of working. It makes it really exciting. So yeah. And so yeah.
And you can then work with them as well and tell them if you think something might not work, or if this class would look better, or this diamond would look better, or if a coloured stone would look better. And so then what happens then? Do you draw it up, or do you make a CAD drawing of it, or how does it work?
Yeah, so we'll go through all those sort of discussions, and we'll do that process back and forth quite a few times, because quite often someone might come in with a really set idea of, I want this. Yeah. But actually, in practicality, once you've spoken to them a bit, it might not be the ideal thing for them. Yeah. So we kind of work, you know, we try to make sure that they get exactly what they want. Yeah. But yeah, we do, I design mainly using just Illustrator, so it's like a 2D drawing. Yeah. And I'll do all sides, do it all proportionally correct, so people can really see, and sort of try and highlight different things that are really, really minor details that normally you wouldn't probably look at, like, you know, the shape of the band at the back, what kind of profile do you want it? But obviously, if you're wearing an engagement ring every day, it has to be comfortable. You know, there's a lot of little details that you might not consider. Yeah. So we'll do that process, and then before we actually go to get the ring made, we'll do a 3D CAD so that they can see it in 3D and see what it would look like in real life before taking that step to actually making it. So
perfect. Now, have you had anyone who's kind of needed their rings during lockdown? Like, have you had to deliver some precious jewels for the guy to actually propose with?
We have actually. We had it was one of our customers, it was his it was his anniversary from when he met his girlfriend, and he really wanted to propose to her on their anniversary. So we'd already started the process like about 2 weeks before lockdown started. So it was, we'd sort of met once, and then we'd done everything remotely online, sort of sending designs back and forth and images of the stones and stuff. And then he was like, is there any way in the world you can get this to me while no one's allowed to be open? Luckily the couriers are still working, so we did manage to get to him. The only thing we didn't do is hallmark it, on the basis that he has to come into the store once we reopen. They need a resize, a repolish, and we get it hallmarked then. That was the only thing that we couldn't do, because that service was closed, unfortunately. But yeah, we've been managing to do it, luckily.
Wow, that's amazing. I just think, you know, to get engaged during this time must be so special as well. So annoying you can't go out and show everyone your ring, but you know, very, very special, very special. So tell us a little bit about then, so when they've had the engagement ring made, sometimes you need specific wedding rings to fit round engagement rings. Like I know with mine, because I had a vintage one, I had to have a special ring made. So the next process is the bride can come to you then when she's got her lovely ring, and possibly look at a necklace option, earrings, or get the wedding bands. And you also do wedding bands for the groom as well, don't you?
Yeah, we've done a few. I mean, originally when the company started, because the main sort of ethos was about the stones, we didn't really do any plain jewelry. But obviously with doing weddings, you need, like, a lot of men aren't going to want diamonds set into their wedding band realistically. Yeah. So we do that as well. We offer the complete package, and any other pieces that we've had people, there used to be a wedding dress shop a couple of doors down, but unfortunately it's gone now. But we used to have brides that would go and try their dress on, and I'd run around with some jewelry. So, because they would see something in here and go, but I want to make sure it looks right before I order it.
That would have been amazing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really nice. It was really nice.
Oh, so have you got any other rings you could show us there?
Yes. So, can I show you some diamonds? Should I start with rings or diamonds?
Let's do diamonds first.
Let's do diamonds first. So, obviously there's two different ways you can grow a diamond. So we either use HP, so high temperature, high pressure, basically, which is exactly the same. We mimic exactly the same as what happens in a lab, exactly the same. So, you know, the diamonds are real, optically, chemically, physically, exactly the same as a mined diamond. Yeah. There's no difference. And there's another way, which is CVD, which is just a slightly different technique, but you sort of use the gas and it layers up.
You see, I didn't know that diamonds were grown. I was like, when you told me this before, I was like, what do you mean? Like grown in a lab? I mean, that's just, it makes them sustainable then, though, doesn't it, as well?
Yeah, exactly. So you know exactly where it's come from. I mean, this technology has been, they started trying to work on this technology over 100 years ago,
Yeah.
actually, funnily enough. And the sort of in the 1950s, it became useful commercially, but it's mainly used about, I think 80 or 90% of lab grown diamonds are still used for machinery and like drill bits and stuff. And it's only more recently that they've got gem quality where it's, you know, we can get D color BS1 like plus and like all that.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, but it grows exactly the same. So you start off with a rough, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see these, but I can give you images.
Yeah.
I've put everything in pots.
We'll put all this on the blog, but yes, I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you start off with so that's what you'd get. Not actually as clean as that, but you'd still get elements of the carbon and the black around it when you take it out of making. And then you'll sort of polish it a bit to this point, and then obviously you cut and polish it as you would a normal gemstone.
Yeah.
And I've got some more examples here. So these are some really nice ones.
Oh, look at
so
that.
this is an F color oval, 1.39 carats.
Lovely.
And this is actually a D BS1. So this is a D color. So this is completely colorless.
Look at that. Gorgeous.
Unfortunately, you're not going to see grey on the camera,
but we'll put pictures up. So yeah.
But also, they are certified the same way as you would a natural diamond. So for the oval stone, for example, I've got the certificate here from the IGI, and it gives you all the details. You know, how many inclusions are in there, what color it is.
Yeah.
So it's exactly the same.
Amazing.
So, yeah.
Now, if someone wants to get a bespoke piece, how long does it normally take?
I mean, obviously with lockdown, the timelines depends, and it has gone a bit longer. But generally speaking, the longest part of the process is the design process because there's a lot of back and forth, and we really want to make sure people are 100% happy with whatever they have. So that, depending on how long that process is, that can take anything between a couple of weeks if someone has a very clear idea to a couple of months if they're really unsure. So
just to be on the safe side, a couple of months, or at the moment probably 2 to 3, could be 4 depending on what you want. But you are still working online, and you were saying before that a lot of your customers are abroad in any case, so you're actually used to working like this.
Exactly, but the actual making of the ring can take anything as little as the quickest we've turned one around is 3 days, which was someone had a really urgent one. Generally, we don't want to do things that quick, just in case there's any problems. You know, you want to allow yourself room, don't you?
Yeah.
But normally it's between 2 and 4 weeks, I would say, on average. So yeah, it's a fairly smooth, quick process. Yeah. I think because we are so particular in making sure we have all the information perfectly correct at the beginning, it makes it easier. There's no sort of questions afterwards.
Yeah, definitely.
I think the main thing we have is obviously ring sizes, because you don't always know the correct ring size.
Absolutely. So moving on to rings, let's have a look at some rings then.
Yes. So
the rings that you guys do are they're just so different, I think. And sometimes, you know, when people are looking for an engagement ring, not everyone wants a solid head, you know what I mean? They want something a little bit different.
No, exactly. And I've got, I don't know how well you're going to see this. So this is one of our Irides rings, which is an 18 karat gold.
That's gorgeous.
Which is really sweet, and it's got it's got the marquee stones as well. It's got a little sort of eternity band that sits with it as well, so that
you've got so delicate as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, these are really sweet. A lot of people actually just buy the eternity band on its own just to wear, because it's such a nice ring just to wear.
Yeah, gorgeous.
There's no reason, you know. I've actually got on Modernist stacking rings, which are in different colours.
And
which are really nice.
We were saying would be great for a bridesmaid gift as well, wasn't it? And actually, at the moment, you've got 45% off as well on your website.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we're going to discontinue these, but we're doing a new version of them, which is slightly nicer. So that's why. So I've got the old ones on.
I love that.
So yeah, that's sort of loaning all the jewellery. This is another one of our popular rings. We've just made this for a customer in platinum, actually.
Gorgeous.
Which is really nice. And again, it's something slightly different with the wave design.
And it feels more modern as well. The way you're using the gems and the stones just feels more current than I think sometimes, you know, if you want a traditional ring, then yes, fair enough. But, you know, for those brides that want something a little bit extra.
Yeah, we've got, I mean, obviously we do a lot of traditional rings. We've sort of got, you know, the classic halo and things.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think it's nice that you want to have a bit of personality on it.
Oh, absolutely.
Because also if you're going through that effort to have something bespokely made, it should, you know, you should be able to see that it's not just a generic thing, I feel. And like one of our recent customers had a stone just set in the base of the ring with the favorite color or the birthstone of his girlfriend, fiance now, just as a sort of something special between them, almost like a little secret message. So yeah, there's a lot of different elements.
Yeah, I've seen that before actually, with something blue when they've had a sapphire put on the inner band as well, which is really cute. Yeah, so that's great. Okay, lovely. So tell us a little bit about, we were talking about the sustainability before, and we actually when we spoke last week, we were talking about brands marketing themselves as sustainable and actually what that means and how sustainable are you. You know, some brands say they're sustainable and it just means that they've, I don't know, got a great workforce. It doesn't mean that their actual product is. So tell us a little bit about how you are sustainable at Larkenberry.
Yeah, well, that's one of the key things for us, was to try to be as sustainable as possible. We're not 100%, I'm going to be perfectly honest. Yeah. I don't think anyone, I think it'd be very difficult to be. We are trying as much as we can, and we're constantly trying to improve that as well. Yeah. So all of our engagement rings that are bespoke, because it's an engagement ring that's cast, we can guarantee that if it's 18 karat gold, it's recycled metal as well. So we're not mining again for the metal. Yeah. And for all our jewellery generally, it's about 80% recycled metal we use. For certain things, like with findings, like earring backs, it's really hard to get those as recycled at present. Yeah. But this is changing every week, to be honest, because obviously from when Larkenberry started to now even, which is just in a couple of years, it is easier and it's more becoming widely available, whereas before it just wasn't, or you'd have to buy X amount, and as a small startup business you just can't do that. No. So we are trying the best we can, and even our packaging, we've changed our packaging to make it more sustainable, because all the materials have always been all recyclable, and it's always been good in that way, but we've discovered a way to make it even better. So perfect. Watch this space, that should be coming next year. So yeah, it's a constant flow of trying to innovate, I guess.
Yeah, but it's good. It's really good that you're really thinking about it all the time. And I think, you know, with the current situation, I think brands, this will be a necessity for people to buy from them these days. You know, are you giving back to the world? Are you trying to make yourselves better? And, you know, it will make better sales, I think, at the end of the day.
Yeah, and we plant 5 trees for every purchase as well. And for certain things, we plant even more. So we're trying to kind of offset our carbon as well to a certain extent, and trying to just every little thing that we can do, we are trying to do stuff.
No, definitely. Now, there's one other thing in store that I particularly love, and I keep saying that I'm going to actually come and get my ears re-pierced. I had them done when I was about 12, and they've grown in. But you do a lovely ear piercing service there, which is great. And it'd be great again, you know, for your bridesmaids, if you want to come and treat them before the wedding. I mean, look at all those, gorgeous.
Yeah, we'll have to put some images up, because they're so delicate and tiny. I mean, I'm wearing some, but I don't know if you'll be able to see, to be honest. Yeah, but again, we do things in different colours. We've got the hoops that can be all diamond all the way around. And the lovely thing about these is you get pierced with these earrings. You never need to take them off again. Like, everyone comes, and so I've had this diamond one for since we started the piercing, actually, to be honest, because I haven't had my ears pierced since I was 17, because I had problems. But yeah, so it's really good. It's really, that's probably one of the most popular things that we do. And the piercer that we work with, Svet, is amazing. She's really lovely. Everyone comes back just to see her, I think.
Really? Oh, that's so lovely, isn't it? And is it painful? Tell me, you know, when you have the kind of like the earlobe bit and things like that.
Yeah, that completely depends on the person, to be honest. And it depends on where you have it. So I've had them done in different places on both ears, and one was worse than the other, but then I sleep on this side, so I found that one more difficult. But as long as you're keeping it clean and stuff, it should be fine. And we actually offer a really nice post pierce service. So because we pierce with 8 mil librets, it's to make sure you've got room for your ear to swell when you first get it pierced. But obviously after 6 to 8 weeks, depending on where the piercing is, that becomes loose, and the earring will start to swivel. So what we do is we recommend you come in, I shorten the back so it fits tight again and snug, so it doesn't move, and we'll give them a full clean. And a lot of people can't believe how, it's surprising, you don't realise how dirty things get.
But they do.
So they sparkle like new, but it's really, really good. So I think that's the one thing that, obviously when people come in, we sort of tell them about that service, but people don't automatically realize that that's something that we offer as well. So that's really, really good.
Really good, really good. Now, what I particularly love about your brand is the delicacy of a lot of the diamonds, because I think when people think about fine jewelry and diamonds, and people suddenly think, oh, well, I'm not sure if I want something because it'll be really thick and kind of really big stones. But you do some really beautiful thin, like, I mean, you've got some beautiful, or you did have droplet earrings. So far.
Yeah,
I think I
got some Modernist ones, which are really stunning.
Just stunning. And it's like you can layer things as well. So what about necklaces? What kind of things, or bracelets have you got that maybe we could layer to kind of, I know, because I know people on wedding days, they want kind of like one statement cuff, but not something thin, possibly something they could layer together.
Yeah, so I mean, I wear a lot of the Vito range, to be honest. I don't know if you can see this, which is colourful.
Yeah.
Because I really like bright colours.
Yeah.
But we did all these in white, and we do sort of smaller versions. And the one thing that we try to do is we try to almost have that size range, so that we've got one statement piece, but then you've also got the really delicate pieces. Yeah. And actually, one thing that's really interesting that we're doing, we did a collaboration with the Diamond Foundry at the Oscars, where Billy Porter wore one of our necklaces, which is amazing. It's in the cabinet, but I'll again share a photo after. But what we're going to do is, obviously you'd only ever wear a piece like that to the Oscars because it's all the way around, it's so embellished. Yeah. We're going to break it up into pieces to make it so it's more of, you know, you could wear it out for an evening, because we're going to put it into sections and do it that way and retail it so that you can own a piece of the Oscars, so to speak.
Yeah, oh, that's so nice. Now, can you tell me a few people you've dressed on the red carpet?
Oh, I'm not very good with names. We've dressed quite a few people. As I say, we had Billy Porter, who wore it for the opening ceremony of the Oscars. We've also had, oh, my mind's going to go completely blank. Helen Mirren has worn some of our earrings, which is really cool.
How is it for a designer when you see your pieces on the red carpet? It must be like so gratifying when it's just there with the full look, and you've got the dress and the shoes and everything. And it just finishes off the outfit.
It's really cool. With Billy Porter at the Oscars, actually, it was a little bit like a childhood moment of, oh my God, I can't believe it. It's really nice. It's really nice. And I think the nicest thing is just the compliments and like how much people like it. And we have a lot of returning customers that come back, and they're always like, oh, I really love your stuff. And I think that for me is a really nice thing. So.
Excuse me. I know. I always think, you know, sometimes at the Oscars, they just look so beautifully preened, and I just think for any designer, when you see them walk out, it's like, oh my God, she's got my earrings on, or you know, it's incredible. So it really is great. Oh my God, Emily, it's so amazing to talk to you. And, you know, I'm so excited that when the shops are back open again, we can actually come down and look at the pieces.
Definitely come here and get a piercing.
No, honestly, that's on my hit list to do for sure. I mean, I know that when we shot some of the earrings for the sustainable cover for our Country and Townhouse magazine, we had some beautiful diamond earrings that were absolutely exquisite. And I know we had a lot of interest from those, so they were fab. You've given us so much great information today, and you know, we're going to put loads of these pictures on the blog so you'll be able to see all the things intricately. But if you do want to speak to Emily, do drop her a line, because they're still working now. You can talk about bespoke items. You might already have your engagement ring, but you might want a necklace to match, or you might want some earrings. I think earrings on a wedding day are quite difficult, because I think sometimes, you know, the dress might be quite full on, they don't know how to accessorize, and it's normally just that, you know, simple earring.
Something delicate. We have had a lot of people coming in where they've got multiple piercings, actually, to change what they had into the delicate little diamonds, because obviously on your wedding day you don't want to have sort of your normal barbells or whatever. So it's really sweet, because they're so dainty. Yeah. But yeah, and they just look really, really beautiful. So yeah.
Oh, fabulous. Well, I wish I could get married again so I could come and get more jewelry. Emily, thank you so much for speaking.